Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. We're doing some number 4 buck. The load I'm loading today is a bit of a oddball one. I've not really seen anybody else do this, but why not take the lead on it? Now, with the number 4 buck thing, I plan on doing this in every gauge. I don't know what order I'll be doing it in, but we're starting with 12 gauge. 2 3/4, 3 inch, and 3 1/2 inch. Now later on down the line, I might throw in a 2 1/2 inch load. I don't plan on doing that today, but down the line, maybe. This might be a bit of a longer video. We'll just see how it goes. Now with a bit of an oddball load here, I'm using a Winchester AA hull, the originals, compression formed one piece, and a TPS wad. Now these are meant for straight wall, but I've noticed the bottoms of these, the little skirt for the gas piston, is really soft. It conforms to the bottom of these hulls right here. Now it doesn't work with the gun clubs or the STS hulls, and it will not work, period, with the AAHS, where they're two-piece and has a little step down here where it tapers. That catches the bottom of the wad, and no matter how hard I try, it just won't go past it. So there's that. It works great in these hulls though. Powder charge I'm using today is 26 grains of WSF. If you don't have WSF, long shot and HS6 will work. So will Blue Dot, but if you don't have the WSF, 28 grains of Blue Dot works great. 29 to 30 grains of HS6 works great. All of it is under 10,000 psi. With the published loads I found, 1 1/4 ounce with those powder charges. With the TPS wad, not so sure on the pressure, but that's why I'm staying away from max charges. A few grains away from max charges, actually, to you know, take into account the added pressure this wad may cause. Once fired, Winchester AA original. We're going to resize and reprime that. I don't know why I keep saying desizing. I don't even know what that means. I guess firing the hull would desize it. I don't know. Guess I should have stuck that primer in the in there too. But the primer I'm using is just a Shadot, like 90% of the time. Not a Magnum primer. So again, that should keep pressure down a little bit. And this is my load right here, so you guys have to load this at your own risk. As always, this is not load data. Set it over to grains. Again, 26 of WSF. Winchester Superfield. Using Winchester powder and a Winchester hull. 26. Double check it. We got it. TPS wad. You do need to trim this a little bit. So I've got Gary Caskey's wad trimmer here. This one is for a 12 gauge tapered wads. Trimming off about 1/8 of an inch, I want to say. It's not much at all, but it is enough to allow it to, you know, proper stack height in the hull. If you don't trim it, the wad comes up almost to the well, it comes up past the crimp line, so you have to trim it. Again, using Gary's tools here because they're great. This is his wad slitter, 4-pedal. I have this one set for a full cut. My favorite is a 3/4 cut, 4 pedals. But I don't feel like messing with it right now. But to adjust this, all you do is turn the bottom of it. You can watch it go down. See it moving? Right here is about the 3/4 cut on the TPS wads. Gary makes excellent tools. If you want to get anything from him, go to Facebook, gary.d.caskey. He will hook you up. TPS wad, I'm actually going to run that through my press here because these are a little bit hard to get in here by hand. One thing you do need to do is, what do I do with it here? There it is. You can see the wad doesn't really want to go down by itself, just with the press. The, you know, the wad seating station. You could use the primer ram to seat it, but, the 12 gauge TPS wads tend to get stuck on it. So that's why I'm not using that. I'm using a socket extension. This is all I'm doing. I'm setting it in front of the final crimp station on my press, dropping the socket extension in, and I'm using the bottom of the this black part of the press to seat it. It makes it a lot easier. And you'll hear, you can see it in there too, you'll hear no powder rattling. The wad is on the powder. It did conform to the plastic, and if you look right here, no bulging of the plastic. If you guys have never loaded any of these, that line you see right here, that's always there on all of the hulls. That's not from the wad. Now, using some fiber cushion wad, tear off about 1/8 inch of it. About like that right there. Oh, that's a bad example. Right there, about 1/8 of an inch. Tear it in half. Drop it into the wad, and then you can use anything as a wad tamper. Again, this is from Gary. I have quite a few of Gary's tools and more on the way to make that flat in there and, you know, compress it a little bit. And it looks just like that. I know it's hard to see, but it is flat in there. Actually, I missed a spot. There we go. Now for the buckshot, I'm using, obviously, number 4 buck. 25 pellets of it is 1.21 ounces. It's my hard cast, wheel weight alloy. Hard cast, tumbled, polished, number 4 buck, which is 24 caliber. Great predator round. Coyotes, foxes, you can take deer with it. Give that a shake. No, I don't bother stacking these hardly ever. I just let them find their own way. Just shake it around till it's even on top, which it is right there. I'd show you, but they would fall out. They just came on, you know, unaligned when I tipped it over just now. Buffer I'm using is Ballistic Products mix number 47. I used all 3 Ballistic Products buffers, the original mix number 47 and the ITX, all the same. This is just what I grabbed out of the drawer. I just reached in there and grabbed a can. Happened to be mix number 47. I don't have a preference, but I will say the ITX buffer does look the coolest. It looks just like this mix number 47 here. Salt and pepper look to it, but it is shiny. One scoop. With number 4 buck, you shouldn't need much buffer at all. There's not a lot of space between the pellets. You go to something like quad buck, the 375 cal or 380, that uses quite a bit more buffer than your smaller pellets does. So there's 1 full scoop and about half a scoop. That's going to do it right there. Top row of pellets halfway covered. I'm going to grab a, this is a 24 gauge nitro card, 1 thin slice of it, right on top, and that is just for a better crimp, and it'll help keep the buffer in a little bit too. Surprisingly, I don't have any nitro cards in 12 gauge. Front station of the Lee Loadoll. You want the valley of the crimp right here facing you. For that one, and like always, I say this in every video, I don't just pull down once to crimp this in, I pull down multiple times. Turn the hull, crimp again, turn the hull, crimp again, and you end up with stuff like that. That is a beautiful crimp. These original double A's are the best crimping hulls of all time. They are my favorite 12 gauge hull. 2 3/4 inch. You just can't beat them. As far as crimping goes, they're outstanding. So So that's the 2 3/4 inch load. Let's move on to the 3 inch. Brand new primed clear Shadot hull from Ballistic Products. The wad is the TPS White Lightning. These come pre-slit with a 3/4 cut, and that's why these wads pattern so dang well. To speed up this process, I've already got an 1/8 inch fiber cushion wad pressed into the bottom of it. We're using 29 grains of long shot here. The Lee 2.2 cc dipper drops 29 grains of long shot, but I always like to make sure. Grab a full scoop of it. Should have 29 there. Yep, 29 grains. TPS White Lightning with the 1/8 inch fiber cushion wad already pressed into it. Goes in there beautifully. 35 pellets of number 4 buck is 1.7 ounces. With the buffer, it's close to 1 3/4 ounces total payload, but 1.7 ounces of lead. Give that a shake. You guys can stack these if you want to, but I don't bother. The top row should have not one in the center, just like that right there. I'll try to show you without spilling it. I think you can see it, but top row is just all in a row, not one in the center. Again, I'm using Ballistic Products mix number 47 buffer. 1 scoop. So the total you need with the Lee 2.2 cc dipper is about 2 1/4 scoops. Covers the top row pellets halfway. I'm throwing on another piece of 24 gauge nitro card right on top. Actually, I'm gonna try it without it because it looks like I don't need it. Back station of the Lee load all. Pre-crimp looks awesome. I know it's kind of hard to see with these clear hulls, but it's pretty good. And we ended up with a very, very nice crimp. There's not even a hole in the center. Trying to block out some of that light. There you go. Great looking crimp, factory style. Try to give that a little bit more. That looks great. Alright, let's move on to 3 1/2 inch, shall we? Before we move along to the 3 1/2 inch shell, I just want to take a moment to tell you guys, we now have a Patreon page. If you want to join up, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Every penny that you guys help us out with is going to go right back into this channel. Stuff like this stuff here, molds, components, just anything that involves what we do on this channel, it'll go right back into it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you guys want to join up, we would highly appreciate that. Stuff's getting hard to find again, and a little bit more pricey as time goes on. Hopefully that will come down though. So again, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Thanks guys. 3 1/2 inch. Brand new primed Shadot hull from Ballistic Products. These are awesome. I love shooting 3 1/2 inch more than anything else. In both 10 and 12 gauge. It's just a blast, literally and figuratively. Powder charge here I'm using again is 29 grains of long shot. We're doing a 2 ounce load here. The wad I'm using is a TPS wad, full length, 3 1/2 inch. Again, mix number 47 buffer and some fiber cushion wad. Pretty simple load. I believe you guys have seen me do this before, but we're going to do it again. If you don't have long shot, blue dot will work too. Or IMR blue if you happen to have some of that. Alright, there's our 29 grains of long shot. Long shot is my favorite powder, by the way. Got a lot of it, can't get away from it. TPS wad, 3 1/2 inch. These are unslit, so slit it myself. 4 petal, 3/4 cut like always. Just that easy. See, 3/4 cut. Drop that right into our hole. Eighth inch fiber cushion wad. Fold it in half, drop it in there. Just like that. 40 pellets of number 4 buck here. This is a 1.93 ounce load. You could use up to 41 pellets in this load right here, but I'm just using the 40 pellets because it fits great in here. Dump it in there out of this Fiocchi 10 gauge hole. Give it a shake so it looks nice and neat, and that does it right there. I'd show you guys, but it would fall out again. This should use about 2.5 scoops. There's one, and it sure did. Top row of pellets halfway covered. And this one I am going to use the 24 gauge nitro card. One little thin layer of it right on top. Should crimp beautifully. Here's the pre-crimp. It's easy to see on the 3.5s, or the red holes I mean. Alright, ended up with a very, very nice looking crimp again. Looks about factory. And that one's just that easy, guys. Alrighty, guys. There's your 2 3/4 inch, 3 inch, and 3.5 inch here. Now, I could show you the 3.5 inch Super Mag with the 2.5 ounce or 2 3/4 ounce number 4 buck loads. But I'm going to save that for a future video. So stay tuned for that. That load is a Coyote Nuke, is what I call that one, in 10 or 12 gauge. I'm pretty excited to do this whole number 4 buck series. Like I said, I'll do it in every gauge, probably not in order. I've already started with 12 gauge, so obviously not in order. But the one thing I probably ain't going to do it in is 410, because they don't really stack too well in a 410. They're too big to go in there by 2s, and you just can't get a lot of them in a 410. Doesn't make a lot of sense, so might not do that one. But if you guys want to, maybe I can come up with something, just let me know. But again, if you guys want to check out our Patreon, we'd greatly appreciate that. Like I said, every penny we earn will go right back into this channel. But for now, I guess I'm going to get out of your guys' hair, let you get back to whatever you're doing. Please like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Share the video with whoever you think you'd want to see it. If you got any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below. We'll get back to you. Both of us read the comments, me and Josh. And we'll see you in the next one.